Sequels, they're a pretty novel concept. You make thing and then thing so good, you just do thing again, but more awesome this time. I don't think I need to explain what a sequel is, and video games aren't any stranger to it. From the Marios to the Dooms and the Sonics, if a game gets popular enough, you can do it again. Making Thing 2 Attack of the Clones isn't as easy as one might think. How do you keep expectations in check? What makes it worth playing compared to the original? Is it profitable? Does continuing the franchise make sense from an artistic perspective? Is it profitable? How do you evolve while still feeling like the same franchise? Is it profitable? These and many more are questions that devs need to ask themselves when making Game 2 Electric Boogaloo. Some of these big brain maniac developers manage to nail everything. Those big brain maniacs are called Team Cherry. Knight Silksong had a pretty interesting development, because half of the fanbase was going insane thinking Team Cherry was trolling them and that the game isn't even real, only for them to come out and say, no, we are just having way too much fun making this. And it shows! I'll keep this as spoiler-free as possible and not talk about anything past the first act, because some people are somehow slower at playing this game than I am at making videos. I am definitely not taking a jab at someone very close to me. This is about nobody in particular. Now, before we talk about the Silk and the song, I need to set the stage a little bit. Picture this. You are a bunch of Australian game developers who have cool idea for a game. You get together, shit happens, and after years of development you run out of money, so you just release the game. You have just released one of the best games of all time and that will now proceed to sell 16 million copies. Hollow Knight was an important game for me. When I first played this as a little baby boy, it enchanted me in ways no other video game ever has. The game's god-tier exploration, combined with fun combat and memorable characters, created a world which stole my heart and still keeps it hostage half a decade later. Now understand the expectation. I, having fond memories of the game as a little diaper gamer and still loving it just as much on the brink of evolving to a real gamer big man, they were huge. My expectations. They were huge. Silksong had plans to be even bigger. From the moment you drop into the game, immediately you are greeted with an area that's way more vibrant and colorful than the average Hollow Knight area. The first game was absolutely gorgeous, but it went more for a dark and gloomy palette, with a few areas being the exception. Here the art direction is much more colorful, while still keeping all the doom and gloom intact when it needs to. There are instantly some differences from the way Hornet moves compared to the Knight. The aerial down attack is very different and you can grab onto ledges and jump from them. This already opens up more movement possibilities and the game just gets better in that regard the longer you play. The dash is now also a sprint, you get to hover mid-air, you can do long jumps, backflips, and oh my god, this game just feels so good to control. Every single ability you unlock makes the game exponentially more fun to explore, and by the end, overcoming platforming challenges and finding secrets with all the abilities that you have makes you feel like Emmett in that one scene in the Lego movie. Hollow Knight already had nice movement in my opinion, but Silksong goes above and beyond with its possibilities. Charms gets replaced with tools. Instead of having different costs, there's 3 different colors a tool can have which fits into its own slots. I, personally, find this a much more enjoyable system to interact with, especially with the addition of red tools. Those are so fun to play around with throughout the entire game. Crests. Oh my god, crests. They are such a genius addition to the game. Being able to unlock new and unique movesets with different tool slots is such an amazing mechanic that allows for playstyle freedom and diversity. Overall, all the things that were in the first game are back but either changed a bit or are completely opposite. Instead of charms we have tools, instead of souls we have silk, instead of grabs we have fleas. Whether it's just an aesthetic difference or has actual gameplay implications, they're all over the place. Instead of starting at the top and descending, you start at the bottom and ascend. Instead of receiving the hunter's journal from a dangerous hunter, you receive it from a girl who barely knows anything about hunting. This game nails the art of knowing how to recycle old stuff while adding new shit to keep things fresh. Hornet having dialogue is something I particularly look forward to in this game, and it did not disappoint. So many small lines give her really strong characterization or reveals things about the lore. I really love the addition of the wish system. I think it's fantastic and works really well for narrative purposes, giving pointers for side quests and just generally telling you where to progress in the story. This would be the part where I talk about the story, but I promise no spoilers. Also, I just don't feel like it. A very controversial aspect of the game is its difficulty. There's a lot of discourse surrounding it, and people are arguing whether the game is too hard all the time. Difficulty versus accessibility is a Pandora's box that I should not open in this video, but I will say that I personally really enjoyed the challenge, with only a few minor exceptions, but let's not talk about those. But I can absolutely see someone's point of view of being really excited for the game and then being disappointed because they got their soft butt cheeks kicked to the moon. It's not for everyone, but for those who can handle it, it's an absolutely worth journey to go through. Is it flawless? Not really. There were some things in the game that bothered me, but Hollow Knight wasn't flawless either, and all the tiny bumps really don't add up to anything when the entire game is such a goddamn masterpiece. When I first started playing this game, I genuinely kept giggling like a little kid every 5 minutes. The joyous whimsy I felt from finally playing it was immaculate, and it was truly worth the wait and deserves the title of a legendary sequel. If Hollow Knight was a passion project made with love, Silksong is like what someone imagines their dream game to be like, and it's exactly like you imagined it down to every single detail. And it's not even the director's cut! They said they released it early just to please us? And it's gonna get updates just like Hollow Knight did? Team Cherry, we do not deserve you! If you know anything about me, you know I kind of like roguelikes. I played a lot of them, including some hood classics, but Risk of Rain is a game I admittedly didn't really enjoy. I played it for like 90 minutes before and it didn't really stick with me that well. It had a lot of good concepts and mechanics, but the overall game just felt very clunky and dated. The soundtrack's pretty fire though, gotta admit. With that in mind, realize how much of a glow-up Risk of Rain 2 is when I say that it is one of my favorite games of all time. Just like Rayman, the second game switched to the third dimension. Unlike Rayman, we didn't get the third one, but that's okay because we got the original but good this time. Risk of Rain 2 is the perfect example of blending together new concepts with reused ones. The main point of the game, the timer-based difficulty and stackable items stay the same, keeping the core of Risk of Rain intact. Half of the roster returns from the original, however nobody stayed the same. Everyone was tweaked to fit the 3D environment better. The beautiful thing about this game is that every single character is good. There is no outlier for a character that's weaker or less fun than the rest. Everyone is fun and unique and has item synergies that allow them to destroy everything. Whether it's rapid fire characters, burst heavy hitters, melee punchers or long range assassins, even when two characters fall under a similar archetype, they still play differently enough to make them both fun and strong in their respective ways. Items Lucky is back and just as wacky as ever! A lot of the items come back from the original, but not every single one stays the same. Some items were tweaked just because, some were completely reworked. Some items return only technically. You also get much more control over your items, particularly with the addition of scrappers and printers, which let you get rid of items you don't like and get more items that you do like. This allows the game to be far more skill and strategy based than its predecessor. Also there's like lunars, but I don't really like them, and like... A lot of the enemies return, this time smarter and better at killing you. A particular change was a lot of formerly melee-only enemies gaining ranged attacks, because when you gain a third dimension, those lizard swipes aren't really as threatening as they used to be. The character item variety also allows for one of the best co-op experiences in any game I have played. The inherent chaotic bullshit of the game in the first place already makes it more fun with friends, and the way how certain items better synergize with certain characters creates a fun strategy game over knowing who benefits from what the most. This game might have the best co-op experience I've seen any roguelike provide, and I really mean it when I say this. I think most importantly though, Risk of Rain 2 just feels so much more fun, challenging and skill-based. The original is unfortunately one of the weakest roguelikes I have ever played, but this one is in the trinity of the best I have ever had the pleasure of experiencing. There is so much fun to be had with all the different characters in this game, and I could keep gushing about how much I love this game for hours. One day I'm going to make an entire video dedicated to it. I promise. But as for today, I'll end this part of the video saying that Risk of Rain had unironically the biggest glow up between two entries in a franchise I have ever seen in gaming, making it deserve the title of one of the most legendary sequels of all time. Quick honorable mention, I got a chance to try out some Hades 2 over a year ago and I was very satisfied with it. It recently left early access with a 1.0 update that my friends who own the game are really happy with. I will be getting the game on Steam, hopefully soon enough. Also, I've heard Spelunky 2 is great, but I've never played either of the games, so I'm not the one to say, but I've heard that 2 is a god tier sequel. Portal. Realistically speaking, you've probably played Portal 2, given it's over a decade old and one of the best rated games of all time on Steam. The first Portal game already left a huge cultural impact. I mean, the amount of times I've seen the Cake is a Alive be referenced as a kid without knowing where that comes from is probably a lot from what I can recall. Either way, Portal's a good game. It's memorable, it's funny, it has puzzles that are easy enough to be fun for casuals but still elaborate enough to not be brain dead easy. The villain is beloved by everyone, shit's overall good. Like, solid 7 out of 10. Game sucks to 100% though, fuck whoever came up with the challenge medals. Come, Portal 2, and everything you know and love about the first game is back and it's better, prettier, funnier, longer, that's what she said, and even more memorable somehow. We went from cool and good game that's the length of a tech demo to one of the most ambitious, culturally impactful and best games of the early 2010s. The game constantly bombards you with hilarious humor, new fun mechanics, clever twists, and just never stops being engaging. Never. The British asshole is one of the funniest characters ever written, and manages to be culturally relevant to this very day. I wonder why. GLaDOS is as mentally ill and as hilarious as before. Cave Jones is a god-tier character, and I actually do not think there's a single bad J.K. Simmons vocal performance ever. I mean, I haven't seen everything he's been in, but he's a good actor. The game manages to expand the cast of characters in such a natural way, even shoving them into the timeline from before the events of both games while making it have perfect sense. Generally, everyone likes Portal's story, it's funny, it's dark, it's memorable, it hits all the right spots that everyone likes. The game is visually striking and a huge upgrade from the first game. The futuristic sci-fi aesthetic is kept in check while introducing a brand new overgrown and abandoned facility vibe to the whole place that nails everything. I genuinely think that video game graphics peaked here. I probably should have elaborated this in the script, post to read this, sorry. It's a very fun game to play through. Pretty much every mechanic from the first game is back, minus the bouncy projectiles for some reason. But now we got shit like lasers, light bridges, funnels, gels, whatever the fuck this abomination is. The game's pacing is really good, with like one exception around the middle of after the fall. I remember finding the beginning of the underground area a bit long and too much gameplay focus on find this random wall you can place a portal on, but after that the game quickly picks back up into the standard of that it usually is. Also, the game has like literally the single best use of an achievement in history.
Hello, this is the part where I kill you. Had a bit of a brainwave.
The game also very heavily marketed co-op and not without reason. The first game was a lone wolf experience, so this edition is a pretty huge change. It's also genuinely one of the best co-op experiences I ever played with any of my friends, and I highly recommend it to anyone who hasn't played it yet. The puzzles are all super well designed with two players in mind, constantly forcing you to interact and work together, while allowing a lot of room for fucking with each other. It's a fun time. The game might not be older than me, but it's still pretty damn old, and everyone has already played this game to hell. But it's important that we keep doing it, because video games shouldn't ever be discarded as trash. They should be enjoyable by everyone, no matter how old they are. And not the type to say, back in my days, video games used to be better. No! Video games are as good as they could ever be, and they only seem to be getting better. But when a 1.5 decade old game still manages to mechanically and visually be considered a masterpiece by modern standards, I think that's a sign that someone fucking cooked here. So, that's that. I hope you enjoyed my little rambles. The lesson to learn from here is that good sequels require passion behind the team and deep understanding of what made the original good. This was originally supposed to be just a Silksong review, but I didn't feel ready to make an entire dedicated video to it yet. So I cobbled together a bunch of other games I like and found something that connects them to have an excuse to talk about all of them in one video. Do the algorithm thing or something and help me pray that these games will be good sequels. Okay, bye, sucker!